वहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रद्धावान् लभते ज्ञानम् तत्परः संयतेन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम् अचिरेणाधिगच्छति। अज्ञश्च श्रद्धधानश्च संशयात्मा विनश्यति। नायं लोकोऽस्ति न परः न सुखं संशयात्मनः। These are again a pair of verses that go together. And they go together because one is describing one state and the other is describing the opposite state. A very famous verse, the first one we chanted, Shraddhavan labhate what? Jnanam. Jnanam means Atma Jnanam. What other kind is there? Atma Jnanam is what we are talking about. And this the Shraddhavan gets because there is a problem as far as Atma Jnanam is concerned. What is that problem? The means of knowing this Atma Jnanam is coming from outside. You want the verse number? Is that what you are looking for? You found it? Okay. So, the means for knowing this is coming from outside of you. That is the problem. Because I am the knower, I know everything. I have everything, I know I don't need you. Why do I need you? Why do I need Upanishad? Why do I need Guru? Why do I need all this? I should be able to get it like that. Because I have a very big IQ. People think like this. My IQ is the best, east or west, so I should be able to get this knowledge. But that is not the case. Why? Because it is the that which is the cause of bondage cannot be the cause of freedom. It's impossible. Somebody wrote, commenting on slavery in the United States. A writer said this: the master's tools cannot dismantle the master's house because the tools are themselves vitiated. Vitiated means compromised. The tools are compromised. How are they compromised? Because they belong to the master. So here who is the master? Ahankara, Buddhi. And the Buddhi thinks I know. And that is the problem. I know. And this I know comes in the way of knowing. This is the problem. And so therefore, one has to surrender to, the surrender is not to a person. The surrender is to the means of knowledge. And the means of knowledge doesn't have hands and legs. and is walking into the class to teach. The means of knowledge is handled by a teacher. That's what it is. And so that's why, even though the Shastra has the knowledge, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, if you read on your own, you can only get this much. And so therefore, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. It's not easy to cultivate Shraddha, we saw yesterday, because one is affected by one's past. Everybody's past is the same. What is the past? That full of disappointments, full of fears, full of all kinds of unexpected things. That is what the past is, full of disappointments. And somehow I have to dare to trust again. This is Shraddha. When everything is going one's own way, there is no need to trust. Why do I need anybody? Nobody is needed. Bhagavan is also not needed. But then, that's not how life goes, right? How does life go? Nothing goes one's way. All the time I am worried. All the time I am wondering what to do. If I have 10 desires, only half is fulfilled, if I am lucky. And so this being the case, somewhere, somehow, I have to learn to trust again. In fact, that is the sign of being an adult, is learning to trust again, giving up that distrust. But the distrust is surrounding all the people in the life. And so the trust, when you go from distrust to trust, the trust has to be put not again in a human being, no. Because again, that person will also hurt. That person will also have their own problems. That person will also promise you the stars. And then what? Nothing comes out of it. So the trust is towards Ishvara. The trust that was lost with regard to the mother and the father or the primary caregivers is regained by daring to see in Ishvara the mother and the father of the universe. That is what is the Shraddha. And that same Shraddha is accorded to the source of the knowledge, the Gurus. Therefore, we have a verse, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara. Because we learn to focus not on the personality of the Guru, we enjoy the personality of the Guru, but we focus on the person of the Guru. And the person of the Guru is deified as the Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. The personality is just for fun, is for the sake of transaction. But the person is what you connect to, because who connects is this Purusha, who thinks I am bound in this body-mind-sense complex, connects to the Guru or Ishvara as Ishvara, as Bhagavan, as mother and father, or any other spiritual connection. That is how it is to be understood. Because if I connect to the personality of the Guru, then it is again a problem, because I am just looking at the Nama-Rupa. The Nama-Rupa is important, because you cannot connect to air and say Namaste Guru. You cannot say. So you need a person there, and the person will have a personality, but it is Badha. Badhita. Badhita means it's a sublated personality. The personality is there, but it is not affecting the person, and that is why it is called a sublated personality. Just like Krishna had, Rama had all the sublated personality and as though personality. So if I take the personality to be real and relate to this personality, I am in for a shock, I am in for disappointment, I am in for projections, transference. All these problems will come and delay the gain of the knowledge. So while dealing with Gurus, It is best to see them as a emissary of Ishvara, or as an incarnation of Ishvara itself, because it is not for the sake of the Guru. The Guru is not wanting the people to do that. It is for our own sake. We see that our own sake to safeguard this sacred relationship. This is a very sacred relationship, and it has to be. It's just like in the 5th chapter we will see that yatha deepo nivatastha nengate sopama sprita, we will see. So like a flickering lamp, and wind is coming, what do you instinctively do? You catch it like that on either side. So in the same way, the relationship between the disciple and the teacher is safeguarded by having this just be a one-way relationship. Knowledge, that's the only thing. The only transaction is knowledge. That is the best thing to do, because then what happens is that then the Shraddha comes. Yes, of course people go and ask Guru for advice, all that is okay, but here it's not focusing on the personality of the teacher. It is looking for that Purusha which I want to be, which I want to discover I already am, and relating on that level. From one Purusha to another Purusha. And that is what, in the beginning I feel bound, I feel I am the first definition of the Purusha. What is the first definition? Purishete, Purau Ushati. The one who lives in the city sleeps the... I like Purishete better because it shows the sleep of ignorance. Purishete, Purishayanam. So, the one who sleeps, the sleep of ignorance. And so sleeping the sleep of ignorance means what? That means that I want to know. I know I am self-ignorant. And then after that what? What is the other Purusha? Sarvan Purayati. Sarvan Purayati iti Purusha. The one that fills up everything. And so the Shishya looks up to the Guru as the one that fills up everything. And the Guru becomes invariable for the sake of gaining this knowledge. We have seen this in the Mundakopanishad. We are now seeing this in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Tadvidhi pranipatena, and also this verse. Without Shraddha, we can kiss the knowledge goodbye. We can wave it goodbye because it will not come. It's a master key of all the qualifications to gaining this. So this Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, and in order to cultivate the Shraddha, 2 other small sadhanas are mentioned. One small by comparison to Shraddha, otherwise they are also, each one is big. So tatparaha, tadeva paraha, tatparaha. So the person who is committed to Brahman, the student who is totally committed to Brahman. Tatparaha. When one is listening in the class, even if there is an earthquake, one's attention must not shake. The ground can shake. The attention must be unswerving. That's what they say. And it is said that King Janaka, who we had referred to in chapter 3, went to a guru and then was studying alongside many sages and sannyasis. Rishis and sannyasis were sitting there and they were all studying. And then they all looked down on Janaka. Ha ha ha, this is a kingly pastime nowadays. Look, they all rubbed and nudged each other and said this now. Vedanta must be in royal fashion. Look, king is coming to class. And they didn't take him seriously at all. And they all made fun of him. He never complained. He just came, sat. He was completely oblivious that people were even talking about him. He just sat and listened, sat and listened. And in fact, the rumors grew so much that even though Janaka did not get bothered, Guru got bothered. Like, why are there so many rumors? And so, to test, to show something, he created an illusion of the entire city except the ashram. The whole, all the other places burning. And then, of course, everybody, he created some kind of a mass hypnosis, so that even in people in the city are coming to the ashram to save themselves. Even though they were not burning, they felt like they were burning. And of course, they brought the news that everything is burning, palace is burning. And all these sannyasis who were sitting in the class, their thatched huts with one bhiksha bowl, and then maybe a couple of extra cloths, dhotis, that was also burning. And then all the so-called sannyasis sitting in the class ran as fast as their legs would carry them to douse the fire and save their thatched hut from the fire. Upon going there, they found everything was intact. Meanwhile, the palace was also burning. And then they just said to him, "Come on, your palace is burning." And he was wrapped in attention. He did not even move. And then they all came back shamefaced with their head hung down. And then when they came back, they found that the class was still going on. And there was only one student. Who was that? Janaka. And so tatparaha means commitment. So commitment in the classroom and also commitment outside the classroom. Because that commitment is what is going to, that Shraddha and commitment are the greatest of friends together. They make a wonderful pair, and together one gains this knowledge through a committed pursuit. Yes, there will be likes and dislikes. Yes, something you feel like doing, somewhere you feel like going. All that is okay. But the primary commitment is to Atma Jnana. All the other things are on the side. Subserve the pursuit. And then, of course, this last one we have seen in other contexts. Sanyatendriyaha. Samyata. Yam, to conquer, to restrain. Yam, to restrain. Yata, past passive participle of yam. So that the one with the disciplined sense organs. Because the sense organs want to go graze in the object of the senses. And lots of things are there. Whatever one wants, one is there. It is there. And if all else fails, if the shops don't have what I want, Amazon is there. Oh, you mean the rainforest? No. This big giant, what is that? Shopping giant. There is one more also, some cart. Huh? Flipkart, yes, that also. So something like that, all these things are there. And then I don't even have to leave the room. Sitting in the room, with just one device, I can browse, go shopping all day. And so this is all comes in the way. And even if you say, I'm not buying, I don't have money, I'm just looking. And even in the looking, there is a certain kind of a commitment to the looking. So all these things, this the sanyatendriya. So then if you say, why should I want all this? Labhate jnanam has been already said. Yeah, but what will I get out of jnanam if you still have that question? Jnanam labdhva param shantim. Ashanti that never becomes ashanti. A shanti that never becomes ashanti. Okay? We have we have different kinds of shantis. We have a relative shanti. A relative shanti means in between one desire going away or getting fulfilled and the next desire coming to town in your heart. What is there? Shanti, silence. Ragadveshas are asleep. Thank God, like babies, they are asleep. They have been rocked to sleep. And then they are not alive, they are not coming out and bouncing. There is a Shanti. And then the same kind of Shanti, this is an internal Shanti, which is again a kind of a Nitya, but it is not really Nitya. It is temporary Shanti. Then another kind of temporary Shanti is all the people that are annoying are behaving themselves in the external world. This is internal Shanti, where I am not assailed, I am not afflicted by difficult thoughts, painful memories, hard to conquer fancies, painful memories, difficult thoughts. All these things I am not bothered by so much. But then all the people outside can be bothersome. But then a day comes, suddenly Bhagavan's gift. No one is bothering me. Everybody is minding their own business. Oh, it's so quiet. Nobody is asking me for anything. Nobody is bothering me. How nice. This is also a small Shanti. How long does it last? Just until the next person annoys you. Simple. So these are all small Shantis. It is called relative Shanti. Even that is difficult to get. Relative Shanti is gained with Ragadvesha management. We have seen that in chapters 2 and 3. But here what is talking about, what Lord Krishna is talking about is Atyantika Shanti, ultimate, absolute Shanti, from which there is no coming back. And we saw that earlier. Yajñatva na punar moham yasyasi pandava. Earlier in this same 2-3 verses ago we saw that. Punar moham na yasyasi. The moha doesn't come back. Therefore the ashanti doesn't come back. So we know that there is a hook between, a link between moha and ashanti. No moha, no shanti. When the moha is gone, when jnanam is gained, para shanti. Param shantim labhate. The person gains shanti from which because of which one is not disturbed, no matter what one's thoughts, no matter what kind of people one is surrounded by. So then, what happens if I don't have Shraddha is described in the 40th verse. Agnyascha. Agnya means na janati iti agnyah, means ignorant. Ignorance. The ignorant one. For the ignorant one, agnyah cha ashraddhadhanascha. Agnyascha, the ignorant one, ashraddhadhanaha cha, and the one devoid of shraddha, and the one who is samshayatma, an incarnation of doubt. The whole person is an embodiment of doubt. Not just that the mind has doubt. He is a Purnavatara of Samshaya. So this is the person. And Samshayatma, what happens to such a person? Vinashyati. Vinashyati means completely nashyati. The whole person is destroyed because what pursuit? Where is the pursuit for the one who is Agnya? Agnya means not just I don't know. That's okay if you don't know. But I think I know, but I don't know. Panditam Manyaha. We saw this in Mundaka. Andhenaiva niyamanaha yatha andhaha. Like the blind leading the blind. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha. They are swimming in the shark-filled ocean of avidya. But what are they thinking? Swayam Pandit Dhiraha. We are the greatest. As a mutual appreciation society. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. And then so it's everybody appreciates everybody and let's all be ignorant together. No problem because we all think we know. So there is no problem at all. So then Samshayatma, no, that comes later. So, Agnyascha Ashraddhadhanascha. Yeah, Samshayatma, next one. Samshayatma means a doubting Thomas. This is an expression in English, doubting Thomas. There must have been some story with a character by the name of Thomas who was doubting all the time. We don't know. So, there might have been some fairy tale or something like that. So, always doubting. Once in a while, yes, everybody has a doubt. And this doubt is centered on oneself. Did I lock the door? Did I do this? When am I going to do this? Oh, did I do that? No, I don't think I did this. So, the whole life goes in doubt. The doubt centered on oneself, and of course, the doubt centered on others is called suspicion. It is no longer doubt. Suspicion here. Suspicious. So if somebody says, hello, how are you doing? What do you want? No, I'm just saying hi. I know, but you didn't say hi yesterday. You didn't say hi day before. Suddenly why you are saying hi? What you want? This is this is the suspicion. Doubt. Even if that is true, that okay, 3-4 days this person did not greet me, suddenly they are greeting me. The person with Shraddha will say, oh, how nice. Hello to you also, how are you? I am fine, how are you? What does it, it doesn't even cost money to say that. And to genuinely be happy that somebody has noticed you and said hello. But here, the Samshayatma will say, what do you want? Definitely must want something. And have to, do this. So like this, as soon as the person comes in front, immediately tries to size them up. Okay, wearing a suit, must be a lawyer, must be some professional. Okay, oh that's good, at least they won't ask me for a donation. All right. So like this, all kinds of spinning the wheels about the other person's motives, about the other person's background. And so making life miserable for oneself. The other persons around the doubter are definitely miserable, but the doubter himself, herself is even more miserable because to keep track of all the suspicions, very, very difficult, time consuming, and it's like a bout of acidity, where the stomach pains. So it's like that. It's like acidity for the heart. It corrodes the heart. It is the opposite of Shraddha. Everything you suspect. If somebody does something wrong, of course you suspect. If somebody does something right, of course you suspect. And then you say, they must be getting something out of this. That's why they are giving this free. There is no free lunch. They must be getting something out of this. That's why they are doing this. This is Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. Samshayatma, who is the embodiment of suspicion and doubt. And the same suspicion walks into the classroom and sits down studying the Bhagavad Gita or studying Mundakopanishad. What will happen? It will be, the suspicions will be playing ping pong with the Mahavakya. Mahavakya is coming and then the person hits it right back. I don't know why you are giving it to me, I don't know what's happening. And the Guru says, okay, let me try once more. And again, ping pong game, keeping score also. This time I won. Actually, the fellow is a loser, but thinks I won. I didn't let this knowledge in, so I won. The defense mechanism is very, very intense. The person suffers from what is in psychological parlance called hypervigilance. Hypervigilance, which is sometimes the what is that? Aftermath of trauma. Sometimes after trauma there is hypervigilance. Hypervigilance. I mean, vigilant. Yes, you have to be. You have to look where you are going. You have to look whether you are crashing into somebody or not. But that's different. But hypervigilance means always like this, on edge and full of doubt. The person is like a live wire. Okay, and so samshayatma naturally vinashyati, combusts, and there is no hope. Nayam asti. This loka, what is that? Ayam lokaha nasti. This loka itself they cannot enjoy. What to talk of swarga after death, etc. Because even the first part of the Veda they don't believe. The first part of the Veda, at least if they had Shraddha towards, that will naturally lead them to the second part. They will gain emotional maturity, they will gain freedom from raga dveshas. But they are living in a cage of a barbed wire on top, everything, not letting anybody anything in. And so therefore, this loka also they cannot enjoy. Somebody does a nice gift, gives them a nice gift, brings them something to eat. Definitely it is poisoned, okay, and then, or it has gone bad, it must have been made day before yesterday, the fellow couldn't finish it, that's why they have brought it to me. And then what else? Somebody tries to greet them, it is, what is that, greeted, that greeting is greeted with pain and anger. It's like they're walking with a personal rain cloud, just around their heads, poor things. So even this life, no goals, no ambitions, because they cannot succeed. And even if they succeed, they are constantly worried about losing things. And they drive themselves into a corner and feel imprisoned all the time. So ayam lokaha nasti. This loka itself is written off, not possible to enjoy. Kutaha anyaha. What to talk of swarga, etc. Even if such a person went to swarga, they would be deeply suspicious of Indra, deeply suspicious of all kinds of things. They won't be able to enjoy. They are corroding from within. This is the sad part. And so samshayatma vinashyati. So na ayam lokaha, na asti paraha, na sukham. Forget sukham, forget shanti. No shanti, no sukham. For who? Samshayatmanaha. Samshayatman. So nakaranta pullinga shabda. So samshayatmanaha, sixth case, for the samshayatma, no sukha. Yoga sanyasta karmanam, jnana sanchinna samshayam, atmavantanna karmani, Nibadnanti dhananjaya. Dhananjaya, another name for who? Arjuna. Correct, Arjuna. So, hey Arjuna, he gives three kinds of things, three qualifications, three kinds of people. One is yoga sanyasta karmanam, one person, and another adjective, two other adjectives for the same person. The next two words, jnana samchinna samshayaha, another person, another adjective, sorry, atmavantaha. So who is this yoga sanyasta karmanam? A small note here, yoga doesn't mean karma yoga. Yoga means yoga with Ishvara, Jnanam. Atma Jnanam here is yoga. Please make a note of it. Otherwise, what will you think? You will think that it is karma yoga. Yeah, that is important. So this is Jnana, Atma Jnana. Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam. So what is the title of fourth chapter? Jnana Sannyasa Yoga. No. Try again. Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So that means Jnanena Karma Sannyasa. Okay? So this is the idea. So yoga here is Jnanam. Sannyasta Karmanam, the one who has given up all karma through what? Atma Jnanam. The one who has given up karma through Atma Jnanam here is called Yoga Sannyasta Karmanam. May they be grihasthas or sannyasis. What are they? Jnanis. They are jnani grihasthas. We saw from verses 20 to 24, we saw the description of the grihastha sannyasi and the jnani sannyasi also. You can go and revise them after the class if you want. So you can just look through them. And then Arthaspuranam will take place because we have spent quite a bit of time on those verses. So regardless of whether one is a jnani or whether one is a grihastha householder or one is a sannyasi, a monk, this jnanam is the one who has given up mentally all activities because of this knowledge is called Yoga Sanyastha Karma. Yoga Sanyastha Karman. So this is the person. And then Jnana Sanchinna Samshayaha, the one whose doubts have all been burnt by this knowledge. And then finally Atmavantaha, the one who is Yuktaha, the one who is together as a person, alert, ever alert and mindful is Atmavantaha. Atmavantaha doesn't mean Atmavan. So the one who has Atma, everybody has Atma, okay? Yeah, so there it doesn't mean anything. Atmavantaha means mindful, alert. So Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam, we can take it as Shravanam. We can take it as gaining this knowledge which allows me to let go of thinking that I am an actor, the identification with the actor. Jnana Sanchinna Samshaya, the removal of doubts is called Mananam, shastrically speaking. That could be considered Mananam. Atmavantaha, the one who is alert and mindful of what? Not of being, ever being away from this jnanam, and so not having a gap between the person who is knowing and the person who is walking in life. Between the walk and the talk, there should not be a huge gap. And that is the person who is called Atmavantaha. It could be Nitidhyasana. So when we talk of Samshaya in the Shastra, there is, like doubts regarding the Shastra, two kinds of doubts are talked about. Pramanagata Samshaya, number one. Pramanagata Samshaya, number one. Number two, Prameya Gata Samshaya. Number one means doubts centered on the Pramana. How come Vedanta is the only Pramana? Why can I not intuit this knowledge? Why can't I just, get somebody to touch my head and then get this knowledge by transference? It would be so nice and easy. So these are Pramanagata Samshaya. Prameyagata Samshaya in short means, what does it mean? It's like, what is Ishvara? How do we know Ishvara is there? Who is this Ishvara? And how do I know Ishvara is non-separate from me? These are Prameyagata Samshaya. So the person who has taken complete responsibility for their spiritual education by going to the Guru and getting rid of ignorance, getting rid of doubts, and being one with the knowledge. For such a person, the karma does not bind. Whatever they do does not bind because they are jnanis, regardless of whether they are in the house or whether they live in the forest or in the ashram. So therefore, tasmadajnana sambhutam hritstham jnanasinatmanah chitvainam sanshayam yogam आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत तस्मात् therefore ajnana sambhutam born of ignorance hritstham hridi tishtati iti hritstham located in the heart, living in the heart, hritstham. Then hritstham samshayam, doubts. So what kind of doubts? All the doubts that you have, your personal doubts and your general doubts. Your general doubts about the Shastra. And what is Arjuna's favorite doubt about the Shastra? Why do I have to fight this war? Why can't I become a sannyasi? That is his specific doubt, and all the other doubts he may be having. Why this horrible war? Why is this happening? Why should I kill the elders? All these doubts. So these doubts which are born of ajnana sambhutam samshayam. What is that? Hritstham, sitting in your heart. The doubts born of ajnanam. The doubts born of self-ignorance, sitting in the heart. What should you do? Jnanasina atmanah samshayam. So, jnanasina, asina, sword, the chaku, sword. With the sword of knowledge, cut through, rip apart the doubts, Arjuna. Because all these warrior metaphors, the third chapter also closed like this. Do you remember? Jahi Shatrum Mahabaho Kamarupam Durasadam. Jahi Shatrum, kill the enemy. Not that is which is in front of you, which is within you in the form of Kama, Krodha, Raga, Dvesha. Here also this chapter ends on a warrior note. Lord Krishna is optimistic and hopeful that he will get up and fight. Atishtha yogam atishtha. Take recourse to this knowledge, Arjuna, that has been given. Abide. Atishtha asamantat tishtha. Abide. It's a command, imperative mood. Stay. Just like we tell the dog, sit, stay. Sit in this yoga, Arjuna. Stay. Abide in this knowledge. May you abide in this knowledge, Arjuna. And having chitva enam, all these doubts, samshayam, with these doubts which are just corroding your heart held doubts. Chitva enam, getting rid of them with what? With the sword of the jnanam I have given you. O Bharata, the scion of the Bharata lineage, Bharata clan, get ready. Uttishtha, get up. He was still sitting in the chariot. From chapter 1, the fellow is sitting in the chariot. Atishtha, Uttishtha, hey Bharata, get up. Come on. The teaching is over. Not so fast, says Arjuna. But before that, Om Tat Sat. इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यास योगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः. So, this name, Jnanena Karma Sannyasa, this is the name of the chapter, and this yoga, the last yoga here is, it's the name of the chapter. The fourth chapter is complete, and in the third chapter, Lord Krishna was going to go for tea break. What happened? Question, yes. And then again, at the end of the fourth chapter, he says, okay, long break, because I have been talking non-stop. What happens? What happens? Arjuna has another question. And therefore, he has to sit back down. So the fifth chapter is called Karma Sannyasa Yoga or Sannyasa Yoga. Obvious it is that Arjuna's doubts are far from dispelled, they are not even diminished. The second chapter, which was the first chapter of the teaching, the second chapter gave us the Atma Jnanam and Karma Yoga, a way of life to lead, with which this knowledge is very easily assimilated. It also gave us Atma Jnanam by teaching us the nature of the Atma as unassailable, not killable, not indestructible by any means ever. And that which is Nitya, that which is Satya, this is what it was. And then Karma Yoga, with its two very important definitions, were given in the second chapter. What were the definitions of Karma Yoga? Definition number 1. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Always a little prod is needed. Then everybody comes alive. So this is a little memory prod. Okay. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. The first tenet of Karma Yoga is equanimity with regard to what? My feelings? No. Results of action. With regard to the results of action, I have equanimity. And how do I cultivate that? By dedicating the action itself to Ishvara. Here, take that, it's yours, it's not mine. And so when you say it's not mine, it's yours, there is less of an investment and less of a disappointment, less of an expectation. It's a protective device. So then, what was the second definition of yoga? Yeah, you can look in the book. It's an open book quiz. Open book quiz. I want the whole definition. We have lots of time. Right where it says Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, 1 or 2 verses later, this one is there. Another hint is being given. Another clue. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujyasva. Abba, fantastic. Yoga, what is yoga? Yoga is karmasu with regard to karma, Vishaya Saptami, with regard to karma, with reference to karma, kaushalam kushalasya bhava. Dexterity in the interpretation of dharma. Samanya Dharma, Vishesha Dharma, and then a portion of Vishesha Dharma is what? Swadharma. Portion of Samanya Dharma is also Swadharma. So how do I apply Dharma into my life as I am living a life of Karma Yoga is Kaushalam. This was also given, and then Arjuna wanted what does the end point look like? Who is Jnani? What are Jnani Lakshanas? Jnani Lakshanas were also given. Arjuna is not happy. Therefore, chapter 3. Because Karma Yoga needed a little more stretching, fleshing out, little more expansion, little more explanation, little more everything. It needed padding, etc., etc. It needed. So then, Karmasu, this Karma Yoga was talked about in chapter 3. That even if you don't feel like doing karma, do it for the sake of others, helping others. And also it's not karma, it's kartritvam. Still not happy. Because he's like, what about jnanam? What about karma? I'm confused. So therefore chapter 4, where the Lord declares himself to be an avatara, because he doesn't do it just like that. He does it to increase Arjuna's Shraddha, so that he knows that the knowledge that is coming not from a friend, from an uncle or a relative, it's coming from Bhagavan. So he knows that this is untouched by human hands. It is apaurusheya. It is Bhagavad Jnanam. It is knowledge of Bhagavan, knowledge by Bhagavan, Bhagavata Jnanam, Bhagavad Jnanam, knowledge of Bhagavan, knowledge for which the subject matter is Bhagavan, Karmani Shashti also we can take. So all this was talked about very, very, very nicely. And then after Avataravada, what is this Karma Yoga was talked about in much more detail. And then after that, how to mentally gain asangatvam from karma by understanding one is not a karta was talked about, and what is karma, what is not karma, that also was talked about. And then the 4th chapter ended with a nice eulogy of this knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita and a extortion on part of Lord Krishna to gain this knowledge and at the same time do this action of the war. Arjuna permanently confused. Same question which was in chapter 3, wears a new frock and comes out in chapter 5. And then if you look at chapter 12, the same question wearing another guise comes in chapter 12. And the same question wearing yet one more disguise comes in chapter 18. By the time Arjuna has run out of disguises, and in fact if we look at the question in chapter 18 and chapter 5, they are almost identical. Okay, and so again he has a question. But before we get to the question, let us look at just an overview. Okay, overview, which verses do what. If that is helpful, I can give it to you. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so of course the first verse we don't count, it is Arjuna's question. Verses number 2 to, let's see, 6, yeah. 2 to 6 are talking about why sannyasa is difficult without karma yoga. Without karma yoga, sannyasa is horribly difficult ashrama to have. Verses 7 to 12, the karma yoga is again, managed, how to manage the karma yoga gradually, leading to the discovery of the Atma with the help of the knowledge. So the fine tuning of karma yoga is given in verses 7 to 12. Then we have a slightly larger section, 13 to 21. Once again, the characteristics of a jnani are given. What is the jnani's mental makeup is given. And therefore, how to become a jnani is given in verses 22-23 with an emphasis on Vairagya. Verses number 24 to 26 talks about the freedom of the Jnani while living, and after the dropping of this body, what happens to the Jnani is given. And then it is time to keep quiet, because all this so much talking, what about the sadhana of meditation? Verses 27 to 29, instructions on meditation that will flow into seamlessly into chapter 6. And when we come here, you will see that what we are doing at 7 o'clock in the morning is just culled from these chapters 5 and 6. You will see that verbatim. Okay? So with this, let us enter into chapter 5. Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasam karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha shamsasi Yachreya etayorekam Tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Yeah. So, Arjuna uvacha, papracha, asked. Said means asked. What did he say? He said, Krishna, hey Krishna, karmanam sannyasah shamsasi. Shams means what? To praise. Shamsasi, you are praising. What are you praising? You praise karmanam sannyasah, the letting go of all karma. You are praising. You talk about the jnanis so highly. And then punaha yogam cha shamsasi. That shamsasi you have to carry over twice. Karmanam sannyasah shamsasi. Punar yogam cha shamsasi. Then again, you are also praising what? Karma yoga. Therefore, I am confused. Why? Because I am too puk to take a decision. And then even if you tell me get up and fight, I will not get up and fight. I am stubborn and coward at the same time. Coward is only in terms of this decision, not to fight. But to fight my own people, I have lot of dread. So, I will not listen to you because you already said get up and fight. Have I got up till now? No. And then at the same time, I am not able to, you are not allowing me to get up and go and take sannyasa, which I want to do. Rishikesh, not too far from Kurukshetra. So, I can easily land up here. Somebody will give me food. I don't have to shave. I can grow a beard and just sit under a tree. And no war, nothing. But you are not letting me do that. And I don't want to do karma yoga. And you are saying, therefore go fight, therefore go fight. After praising this, you are saying, therefore go fight. It's like saying, the Swiss Alps are wonderful, very lovely mountains, so grand, so great, so fantastic. Therefore go to Kumbakonam for a vacation. And so this doesn't make any sense. So this tasmat, your logic I am unable to follow. I am unable to follow the logic. You have so much respect for the jnani. You are talking about them as though they are the cream of the cream. And you are praising them to the skies. And you are praising karma yoga also. But then after praising the jnanis, you are telling, therefore go fight. So this doesn't make any sense. And so the second line says, Ekam vadanishchitya. Say, what did he say in the chapter 3? Tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyah aham apnuyam. You have to take my word for it. This is what he said in the beginning of chapter 3. And so, what does he say in the beginning of chapter 5? The second line is almost identical. Yat shreyah etayoho ekam sunishchitam tanme bruhi. Just the words are a little, he has done a little word salad. You know, when you make a salad, you throw it in the air to mix the vegetables. That's what he has done here. Arjuna, same ideas, just the words are little bit transposed here and there. So what does he say? Sunishchitam, for certain, for sure. Ekam vada, one thing you tell me. There he said vada, here he said tanme bruhi, tell me, same thing. Yat shreyah, same thing, there also he said. Yat shreya syat nishchitam tanme, nishchitam is same, shreyah is same, ekah is same in the third chapter and the fifth chapter. Same thing. Out of these, etayoho ekam vada, ekam bruhi. Out of these two, tell me one thing which is better. Yat shreyah, which is the better one, tell me. And does Krishna tell him? No. How? We will see that tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.